everybody. Welcome to the video. It's 9:28 on August 31st. We've got our beloved monthly close today, and yeah, we've got September coming up here in the next few hours. So let's take a look at the update on where we are right now. I want to take a look at where we are since the weekend. Basically, the last time I took a look at the market, we were in a little bit of a downtrending channel, and I had some predictions on where things would go. I want to take a look and see how I did. Before I get into any of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. All right, so let's go ahead and pull over into the charts and take a look. And it looks like I've got my screen hidden here. So let's pull this guy up. Here we go. All right, there's our chart. All right, I think we're good now. So let's go ahead and take a look. So last week we were taking a look at this guy, and we had basically from down here, I said we were going to take a move up, we were going to do a pullback, and then we were going to take that last push up. So far so good. So far so good. I mean, we did go a little bit higher than I thought. We came back down, and now we're going to start moving up. I think we're probably going to end today green, although I think that we're close. We're close to finishing this here. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to remove this guy. That support was already tested. That happened exactly how I kind of expected it to. And let's just kind of pull in here. All right, so we've been talking about all these pullback support zones. And now we have a new one. All right, so let's go ahead and put this new one over here. Oops, let's keep that there. We want to clone this guy so that we can put him right about there. Okay, that's our new support, 3480. Or if you're looking at SPY, about 348. 348, somewhere in that range. All right, so more than likely what we're creating here is going to be another pullback support, and just kind of taking a look at what we've got going on right here, all the way from back here. Possible that we find support here in this level. That's 3498, 3499. I mean, 3500 seems like good psychological support, and that's basically where we just tested just a few moments ago. And again, the stock market is now officially open. It opened about a minute and a half ago. So, we're going to start seeing some movements here. What I really want to see, I want to see this support hold. Really, I don't want to see us come back much further, right? So I don't want to see us come back much further. If I take from this dominant pivot low to this dominant pivot high here, we're sitting at the 50. We can come down here to the 618. That's okay. That's all right. If we get down here to 3497.50 or 349.75, that seems like a good place to scalp along, right? But if we get much further, right? So if we come back down here to 34.94, I would say chances are pretty good we're gonna start moving down and get down here to where we've got it 34.80. But right now, this looks okay. This looks like we can still move up. We're taking a look up here. We're still looking at higher prices, right? We're still taking a look up at our upper resistance, which we haven't really tested yet, which we've been talking about 35.50 for a while. We've been talking about this for a while. I don't think this 5 is in yet, which would close this 5, which would close this 5, which would close this 3. Okay, so we're getting pretty darn close to finishing this move. So I'm not being super aggressive, right? We talked about this before. Don't try and be a hero. Don't try and catch tops, right? Because you just end up just getting demolished. So I'm gonna basically caution everybody: don't try and be a hero trying to catch. Don't try and catch the top here. We've been talking about channels. We've been talking about all kinds of things. Like, I'm going to remove this, but just to kind of show you guys, this channel did work itself out. We broke out and we moved up. And now the channel that I'm most interested in right now, I'm going to try and do one that I think makes the most sense. I'm going to start with this guy right here. I'm going to move him up to right there, just like that. We've got touches on the bottom, we've got touches on the top. right? So we start breaking down. I'm going to move this guy to the left here to see what we've got. I'm going to pull this about like that. I'm just going to see what we've got here. You know, this doesn't look too bad either. This seems to be okay. This entire channel that we've been in here, that I've been counting as wave 5. What I'm unsure of, okay, what I'm unsure of is if this is the 3, you know, we've been talking about using our trend-based fib extension tool to measure these guys, measure the wave 1, pull back from wave 2. We hit this 175, right? So that would be the high probability target for wave 3, but that doesn't mean that is wave 3, okay? Possible that wave 3 is higher. It could be that this is wave 3, this is wave 4, and we're working on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes a whole lot of sense, right? Even though we're pushing down right now, we're still trying to test that. I still think that we're going to find our way up here. Find our way up here at 35.50. I think it's going to happen, right? Yeah, we're dropping into the into the early morning session. Um, but I have to think that we're going to find a pivot and we're going to find our way up here. If it's not today, maybe it's Wednesday, right? So this is still the 21st, sorry, the 31st right here. We don't get into the 1st of September until all the way up here. I'm not saying it's going to happen, right? I mean, I've been wrong before. All I'm saying is it looks like we're probably going to move. We're going to move up. Probably missing a trade here by doing this video, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll see how this transpires over time. But there is one thing I want to take a look at, and I'm going to take a look over here at my other chart. My other chart. We've been talking about this being, you know, pretty important for resistance. You know, we've been kind of in the, let me remove this log. So we're in here, we're at the median of this channel, right? We haven't broken up above it, or we're kind of struggling to break up above it, which is why I kind of think we're probably going to, we're kind of going to be moving down once we do hit that 35.50, assuming we do make it that high. Now, I don't know if we make it that high. We're going to have to just kind of wait and see. I'm going to go to a weekly chart here. This is going to kind of put things into a little bit of a different perspective, and I'm going to kind of remove the counts on this because I think this is already kind of working itself out. Let's just remove some of this here. And what I want to focus on, all right, there we go. What I want to focus on is this. We're going to take a look here at this guy, and then we're going to take a look here. I'm going to try and pinpoint this guy right there on the top and work our way up. Okay, we haven't quite touched that yet. You know, that would be sitting at, you know, if it happens this week, you know, we're talking about 35.40, right? We're still sitting right below 3,500. We're probably going to push up and into it, but you know, we've got some resistance here. You know, I've got this preliminary support to pay attention to. It's going to be right here, right about there. Okay, so this guy right here, I'm going to change the color and style of this just to show the importance of it. So let's go ahead and give this a nice little dotted line. The reason why this one is important, you know, obviously we have an expanding wedge here. We've got resistance here, you know, attempted resistance. Actually, I could probably move this guy down and probably still be valid, probably a little more valid to be completely honest, because we've got support here. When we had our fall back here, we had a, you know, kind of a retest and it failed. We tried to push up and it failed. We tried for 2 weeks after that to push through until we finally did. So if we do pull back, I don't know if we're going to pull back this far. It seems like this is pretty far. It could take a while for us to get there, but I really think that we are going to test the top of this expanding wedge a few times. I'm only putting this into, you know, different perspective. Obviously, we are keeping an eye on this move over here, right? We're keeping an eye on this. You know, let me move to a 3 hour just to kind of show this. You know, we're keeping an eye on this, and you know, it seems to be okay. But the other one that I'm definitely wanting to keep my eye on is this guy right here, right? We are approaching, I mean, historic resistance on this trend line. So, you know, your questions that are always, you know, being asked are, how high are we going to go? How is it possible that we're continuing to go higher? And then now we're to the point where we're just like, yeah, stocks only go up. And that's true until it's not. And when you're looking at blue sky breakouts, right? I mean, look at this candle last week. We broke the high, and I mean, we had a 3.3% week on the S&P. That's pretty significant, right? Um, but now that we've got no prior resistance to really pay attention to, we've got to take a look at trend lines. We have to take a look at all of these things here. If I go to a log scale, taking a look at this on a log scale, I don't think we have anything in confluence like we currently have. All right, so let me just remove this and let's just take a look at this. Like what I feel like I need to actually be doing is taking a look at SPX, but pulling this guy from here, this is going to be in 2007, working our way up here. Again, we've got that same resistance, right? We've got this touch, we've got this touch, and now we're trying to touch it again, okay? On the flip side, if you're looking at the bottom here, you know, we do look like we're creating a little bit of a rising wedge, okay? We're pretty far expanded here at the bottom. We had a smaller expansion closer to the top, and if we move our way down, hit our way up one more time, once we break this lower, you know, I mean, this lower was just created in March, right, guys? But once we break this, how far are we going to go? All right, well, I'm going to use my trend-based fib extension tool. I'm going to measure from the top to the bottom here, and let's just say we break down at the election. Let's just say we break down at the election. All right, so this is going to take us, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, actually. I mean, that would be crazy if we did break down at the election, right? And when I say breakdown, I'm talking about violating this lower trend line. That would mean that the S&P is going down to, what would that be? $82.40. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Actually, it would really be more like 139. We'd be down here to the 100%, not the 1618. You know, I tend to believe that if we are going to break down, it's going to happen much higher, right? And so, you know, I can see us still coming down here to 18, right? 180, 1800. I can still see that as being a possibility. But this would mean that we kind of chop here for a while and then we break this lower. This looks at like 2022. Okay, so if you're on the Discord, and especially if you're insured on the Discord, you know that I've got a 5-year plan for the S&P. For right now, I think that we are going to continue to try and take the wealth from the people that are shorting the market. At some point, it's going to be money shorting the market, but that's not today, right? That's soon. I actually do think it's soon, where you can start making money shorting the market, but it's just not right now, not today. And you know, we're still trying to push up above 35 here. We're holding 35 as support. So you know, just keep the plan. Keep the plan for now. And watch to see what happens when we finally do break this. Once we violate this lower trend line, that's when we're going to start to see you know, a much more major move down. And what you're going to have at that point, probably going to move sideways for the better part of a year. You're going to have people that are thinking, we're just consolidating, we're going to break up big time, right? Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense, because if you did have something that looked a little bit like this from up here, let's say we move down here, then we move up here, then we move down here, and then we move up here, and then we break down. You're going to have people trying to buy the dip, forgetting about this trend line. I honestly probably will forget about it, right? It's going to move up. You're going to have people longing the market, and then it's going to fall. It's going to drop sharply. And I'm on a weekly chart, right, guys? I'm looking here at 2024. Okay, we're talking years. It's going to take time for this to happen. We did come down, and we came up very sharply. I mean, that didn't even really happen in 2008. The speed in which we recovered was just, it was just asinine. Look at what happened here. Look at how long it took. It took October of 2007 to February of 2009, right? So you're talking like, what was that, 18 months to go down. And the amount of time it took for us to recover and get up here was all the way back here in 2013. 4 years. What happened here? We did all this in what, 8 months? That's insane. That's insane. Not sustainable. It's going to fall, but it's just not time yet, right? And here we are at 3506. So that's really what my thoughts are right now on the market. Yeah, I think we're getting close, but I don't think it's time yet. I don't think it's time yet. Yeah, look at this. I look at this hourly candle from the open. We pushed down. We tested this lower, and now, as long as we continue to stay above this, like that would have been a pretty good long. Even at this moment, testing, longing the test of this, moving ourselves up. Um, yeah, probably we're going to find ourselves up at 35.50 at some point this week, and it may not be today. Could be today. I tend to think it's probably going to be maybe Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to jump the gun right now. So, I mean, I hope I hope this helps you. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. And of course, if you want access to our Discord server, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day. Good night.